Well, I feel like there's so much I didn't know about the music industry, or I didn't know what you had to do in terms of even mixing, mastering, producing, all these things and payments and stuff like there's so much I didn't know, and even a lot of money that goes into music. So promoting it, music videos, studio time. There's a lot I didn't actually know, and even some like rules within like which beat you can use, what you can't use, what and I'm just thinking, whoa, like no one put me on game. I'm just discovering it as I get older, and even through my friendships and relationships with people, I feel like, because I've been with other people who are artists as well, and I'm realizing, okay, they kind of taught me this, and this is what I didn't know, this is how, and I need to refine it. And I'm also like, the struggle is also like how I'm going to be perceived. I'm like, okay, so there's one thing that I can do. I can write this, and this may come across in one way to other people, but is that how I intended to come across? Or, things like that. It's just finding your sound, and every song that I make may be so different to the next. So it just also depends on the crowd you're with, because even with performance wise, there are times where I'm like, okay, this is the type of audience I get, so I know what kind of song I'm gonna do today, versus, okay, this is a very different one, I know what kind of song I'm gonna do today. And you win some, you lose some,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How are you when it comes to performance? Like how are you, like in terms?
Oh, I feel like this is gonna sound so vain, but if I feel like I look my best and I look good,
come on,
I perform well. But if I'm feeling very insecure about the way I look that day, if I'm like, oh, I put on a bit of weight, or oh, I feel like that outfit didn't eat that day, then I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's gonna show. It's gonna show.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I've never heard somebody explain it like that before. That's a very unique way to look at it. Like obviously, like even as a guy, we've got this thing we say when you get your hair cut, you feel there's a vibe. There's how a lot of us guys feel. As soon as you walk out your barbers and you feel you've got a fresh trim, you just feel like you're floating. You get what I'm trying to say? You feel different. So it's like, I could get what you mean in terms of like whatever outfit you're wearing.
Yeah, when I feel good, I perform good. If I don't feel good, it will show in my performance somehow. And there have been times where I've forgotten words as well, and I'm like, oh,
because of your outfit.
Yeah, because I wasn't feeling my best. Because I feel like if I feel good, like internally, like regardless of just the outfit, but if I feel good internally, it's gonna show. But if I don't feel good internally, it's gonna also show, and that's the thing. So it's just more of things like that. But it's also the vibes. Like with me, when I'm watching others, I give it my full encouragement. I'm like, whoa, I hype people up, because I know deep down, like I would have appreciated that as well. So when you're with people who are just vibey and like they're just like going off, like you also become more confident as well in your performance anyway. So yeah, it's just about what vibe you're going with. But yeah.
Absolutely. Do you do like how often do you step out to do open mics?
Oh, I do them a lot. There was a period of time where I wasn't going out to do a lot of open mics, and this was when I was in a relationship. I was kind of like, I don't know what it is. I think with me, I get very distracted by relationships. Like when I'm in a relationship with someone, it's almost like everything else slows down. Like I start investing more in that, and then taking a back seat. And if anything, I will support them, and But I feel like whenever I'm single, I'm now like, yeah, okay, let me go for this, then let me do this. Like any opportunity, I'm like, let me take it. And then I feel good and I feel better. I feel more stabilized that way. So I do a lot of open mics when I'm not being distracted, basically.
Yeah. What was the last open mic you went to?
Oh, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or either a week or two ago. And it was at Ferrari. There's a guy called Ferrari. He hosts events. It was at one of his events. Yeah.
Okay. Because like within open mics, I've always got this interesting take in it. Like with open mics, if you're a music artist, I would assume that you want to go there to obviously improve like your confidence on stage, and two, obviously you're networking and you're promoting obviously your music, and you're hoping people will say, "Wow, oh, that's a good song. Let me check out this person." Like when I speak to so many different artists, like especially privately, I'm surprised by how many people tell me different things why they go to open mics. I go to open mics for this, for that. Like for you, when you go to open mics, like what do you look to get from it overall?
Ooh. Well, initially when I first used to go to open mics, it was to build up my self-confidence, because with me, the annoying thing about me is when I don't do something for a long time, I do forget. So like if I don't perform for a long time, then I start to get nervous again when I do need to perform. But I think it's weird because I feel like I unintentionally manifested it. So before I even started performing, I went through a long period of not performing, and I'm like, one day I really want to perform on stage. One day I really actually want to put my music out there and perform. So then when I started making that happen, I'm like, okay, cool. Like this feels like a dream. Like I want to be able to do that so that I get used to it. And I used to go alone because I used to be scared that like, if my thing is not that great, then at least my friends wouldn't have seen it. You know, I never used to film it. I used to go secretly. If I'm going, I wouldn't tell anyone that I have any event. I used to because I just wanted to test it out first. I'm like, okay, let me see how people respond to it. Let me see how I'm being. And then when I started to get more confident, that's now I'm like, okay, now guys, I'm performing here, you know. So it was more to boost up the self-esteem, and I have my songs heard by people, but also to network as well, because I realized that the more I perform, the more I meet new people, the more I network, and it's really helpful. Yeah, and it's good to have people that you know that are on the same journey as